You there! Sit! Stay a while. Right in front. I'll excite you. I'll delight you. I'll beguile you. I'll besmile you. I'm Cedric the Sensational, and I'm playing to an empty audience. Come on. Don't pity me. No, sir. Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing all... When Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head. Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that to be my main. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. This curio is... And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts... I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and... Performers, showmen, show all of them.
Can you spare a coin?
You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut. And who are you supposed to be? Don't you have an impressive library here in Saiseel? I'm sure that beast of a librarian could rustle something up for you. Take it up with Katerina. She's the master of this pig circus after all. Oh, I should have been one of the greats. But here I am gathering peasants to watch peasants perform broadside pageants for peanuts.
A coin.
Fantastic! Bravo! Bravo!
Can you spare a coin?
No, really? I hadn't noticed. If not for this ridiculous condition, you...
Bravo! Yeehaw!
Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Fantastic!
Bravo! Yeehaw!
Just waiting for his big day.
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! You're at Katerina's Fair, a veritable summer home for troubled minds. Won't you take a seat and let our esteemed entertainers whisk you off to a better place? Well, I'm Katerina the Fair, fairest first lady of the fair, of course. I do love making the acquaintance of my patrons, and I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the rank and file of the audience.
Bravo! Yeehaw!
The theatre's favor has overcome you, has it? Marvelous! I do so love a fresh green talent ready to bloom. But I support players, not writers, you see. If you want to perform here, check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a Source Hunters take on one of the old standards.
Ordered a contest
Come
across
on!
his realm.
Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling
Today,
you?
I think,
Fantastic!
the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard...
Come on!
from new
Come
elder,
on! Can't Can't you hear the stage calling you?
That the king had a great thirst of colour. So ardently
Come
did
on!
the creamy blues
Come
and
on!
gory
Can't you
reds
hear the stage?
Severed head! That's right, a talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic, you'll be begging to hear just one more, and just one more. I obtained this curio by some rather sensational means. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends, in the shallows around Sicil's own Black Cove, when I spotted something amazing. The chest belonging to the fabled Captain Pontius. Though the chest was stuck fast, I summoned a swell of great strength and prized it free from the ancient rock. I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands, but then, slurp, gulp, I was swallowed by an ornery kraken that seemed to appear from... In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavernous belly. Still, I feared only for a moment that all was futile. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and necrotic orphans who would be lost without my charitable support. I knew I had to live. Grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment, freeing myself from my would-be tomb, I swam as quickly as I could, first to the surface, and then it was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange, isn't it?
My word!
I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andevale. This fantastical talking head. Catch the act while you can. This show will only remain in Sicil as long as their allegiance... Ha! Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored. Enter Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boys in red, happy, relaxed, and ready to fight. Not wasting their energies cringing at a fool with a depressed rabbit in a borrowed hat.
Fantastic!
Hard times, Lord Pinchpenny?
Fantastic! Fantastic!
This show's worth the hype. Well, that bloke at the back seems to be having a bit too much fun, if you ask me. This here is the quickest illusion in Andevale. I just said that nutter in the back hollering about. I can't hear the show for all the ruckus. Step right on. What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, there stands the world-famous Reginald the Entertainer. Better check it out if you don't want to miss any time of your life. Look, I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show
I've ever seen. I'm amazed and astounded that for a meager gold... Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice happens to carry pretty far. Sicil hears me. Sicil wants to see what the fuck...
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew
Bravo!
Elba, who knew Elliot, who
Yeehaw!
is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for
My word!
So
Don't ask me what the tale's about. I'm just here for the eye candy. The Prince Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elba, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst.
excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs, I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sicil. My audience sings my praises from hills. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything.
Tricks are for kids. This here is the greatest illusion in Endervale.
What a tale!
Fantastic!
I found something.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite. Are you sure?
And a disgrace to whomever is maintaining this gravesite, too.
You step away from the grave.
Don't disturb Master Pharaoh now. He's been so busy with his research, the poor dear hasn't had a proper night's sleep in months.
The corpses to mind.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased.
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last. No matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Yeah? Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of medicine. Unless one of them happens to have a secret stash of healing stones. So,
which of you is more deserving of
Me?
life?
Why, I'm More than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. Perhaps I can jog your memory. It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Saisile of late. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration.
Has to plead for his very existence?
She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silverglen to learn the truth myself.
Anybody?
Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best. Certainly, what would you like to know?
Anybody?
The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by me.
Stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Neither of you cares to plead for his very... Do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say! I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. But perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silverglen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, but it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought quite the venerable staple of Saisile, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of nearly everyone in Saisile is familiar with grinning Stephen. And, as you can imagine, he's quite don't dither long. These men are slipping ever closer toward the edge with each passing minute.
The corpse's troubled mind. Could have gone far.
Boris, Stephen, both good men. How can I choose but one?
Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking the tenderfoot so long?
What do you think? Would you like to learn more about the patients? You are? I thank you a million times for your help. Who have you decided should receive?
There's no way Boris should receive that stone over Stephen. Think of Stephen's wife, his children, his grandchildren.
Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking tenderfoot so long?
Imagine the joy on his wife's face, his children's faces when Stephen returns to them. Isn't that a scene you'd like to see?
No, we'll do as I say.
Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man. My heart breaks.
Thank
No,
the seven.
no, this highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning?
I feel no pleasure in bidding.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.